Welcome back to the channel name, Top Coin, Coin Enthusiasts. Today, we're diving into a fascinating piece of history, the coin of the Siege of Paris from 1870. A coin that tells the story of a nation at war, a city under siege, and the resilience of its people. We'll explore its history, how it was made during one of France's most desperate times, and of course, its market value today. Stick around, because this coin's worth more than just its metal. It carries big monetary value for collectors worldwide. In 1870, France was thrown into turmoil during the Franco-Prussian War, a conflict between the French Empire, led by Emperor Napoleon III, and the rising German states under the leadership of Otto von Bismarck. The war was swift and brutal, and by September of 1870, the Prussian army had surrounded Paris, laying siege to the city. The siege of Paris would last for over 4 months, from September 19, 1870, to January 28, 1871. During this time, the citizens of Paris endured extreme hardship, food shortages, cold winters, and constant bombardment. The economy crumbled, and money, like everything else, became scarce. But the resourceful Parisians found a way to keep commerce and trade alive, even in the most desperate circumstances. They turned to emergency currency, which brings us to the coins of the Siege of Paris. These coins were minted out of necessity. The French government needed a way to pay soldiers, buy supplies, and keep the economy moving during the siege. Regular coins were in short supply, so they created emergency money, including coins made from bronze, copper, and sometimes other metals. The most famous of these emergency coins are the 5, 10, and 20 centimes, but there were other denominations as well. These coins were minted in Paris under makeshift conditions, often using basic and crude methods compared to the elaborate designs of regular coins. Despite the harsh times, the designs still had elegance. They featured symbols of liberty, equality, and fraternity, a nod to the ideals of the French Republic. One of the unique aspects of the siege coins is that they weren't just minted in regular government facilities. Some were produced in private workshops and other improvised locations throughout the city. The people of Paris were doing whatever they could to survive and keep the city functioning. These coins weren't just pieces of metal, they represented the resilience and determination of the Parisians. Imagine living in a city surrounded by enemy forces, cut off from the outside world, with food and resources running out. Yet, even in these desperate conditions, the people of Paris continued to trade, buy, and sell goods with these emergency coins. For collectors today, these coins are a powerful symbol of that time. They represent more than just a historical artifact. They tell a story of survival, endurance, and hope. But what makes these coins even more valuable is their rarity. Because they were produced in such limited quantities under tough conditions, many didn't survive the post-war period. After the siege, many of these coins were melted down, lost, or simply discarded as France moved on from this painful chapter of its history. Now, let's talk about the market value of these coins. As with any collectible, the value of Siege of Paris coins can vary greatly depending on several factors: condition, rarity, and demand. Coins in mint or near mint condition fetch a much higher price than those that are worn or damaged. Remember, these coins were made in a time of war, so finding one in perfect condition is extremely rare. Some denominations were minted in larger numbers, while others, particularly the higher value coins like the 20 centimes, are much rarer. Additionally, some mints produced fewer coins, making them highly sought after by collectors. There's a strong market for these coins, especially among collectors of French history, military artifacts, and emergency currency. Some collectors are particularly interested in these coins because of their historical significance, while others see them as a solid investment. On average, a 5 centimes coin from the Siege of Paris in fair condition can be worth around $50 to $100. But if you're lucky enough to find one in excellent condition or from a rare mint, you could be looking at upwards of $300 to $500. However, rarer denominations like the 20 centimes coin can fetch $1,000 or more, depending on their condition and provenance. In fact, some of the most pristine examples have sold for as high as $3,000 to $5,000 at auction. So if you happen to have one of these coins in your collection, it's time to get it appraised. Coins from the Siege of Paris frequently appear at coin auctions around the world, particularly in Europe and the United States. Auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Katowiki often list these coins, and they can also be found at specialty coin dealers and numismatic conventions. In recent years, there's been growing interest in these coins as investment pieces. Because of their historical significance and scarcity, their value tends to increase over time. Some collectors see them as a great hedge against inflation, similar to gold or silver. If you're looking to purchase one, you can check out online marketplaces like eBay, Delcamp, or NUMISMATICS, but be cautious. Make sure to buy from reputable sellers and always request documentation of the coin's authenticity, especially if you're making a significant investment. Before you buy, make sure you understand the different types of siege coins. Some are more common than others, and some mints produce higher quality coins than others. If possible, try to buy coins with a well-documented history. Coins that have been passed down through generations or have been part of famous collections tend to hold their value better. As with any collectible, the better the condition, the more valuable the coin. Pay close attention to the coin's surface, its edges, and any signs of wear or damage. Joining a coin collecting community or attending conventions can help you find great deals and learn more about the history and value of these coins. So there you have it. The coin of the Siege of Paris from 1870 is more than just a collectible. It's a piece of history that survived one of the most challenging times in France's past. And today, it remains a valuable treasure for collectors around the world. Today, we have something truly special, a coin that marks one of the most significant moments in French history. The Siege de Paris MDCCC LINCLON République Française Jeton de Présence. It's not just a token, it's a piece of history, art, and an object with remarkable market value that has grown over time. By the end of this video, you'll understand why collectors around the world are so captivated by it. So sit back as we unravel the origins, significance, and modern-day value of this fascinating coin. To understand this coin, we first need to understand the historical moment it represents. In 1870, Paris was under siege during the Franco-Prussian War. The city was surrounded by the Prussian army, and its people suffered through hunger, cold, and intense fighting for months. The Siege of Paris lasted from September 19, 1870, to January 28, 1871. It was a moment of great hardship, but also a moment of great national pride for France. During this period, the people of Paris showed remarkable resilience, even using hot air balloons to send messages across enemy lines when no other communication was possible. This token, the Siege de Paris MDCCC République Française Jeton de Présence, captures that era and the enduring spirit of the French Republic. So, what exactly is a jeton de présence? In simple terms, it's a commemorative token or medallion. These tokens were often given as gifts to high-ranking officials, members of the government, or those involved in administrative roles. They weren't meant to be used as currency but instead served as a symbol of attendance, presence, or involvement in key moments. This specific jeton was minted in 1870, the year inscribed as MDCCC LINCLON in Roman numerals, and was created to commemorate the Siege of Paris. The front side features the words République Française, the French Republic, along with a depiction of Lady Liberty, a symbol of freedom, hope, and resistance during that tumultuous time. Take a closer look at the details. You'll notice Lady Liberty holding a shield with the emblem of the French Republic. The reverse side of the coin features the year and an inscription celebrating the perseverance of the Parisian people. These tokens weren't widely circulated, which makes them incredibly rare today. The jeton is also a work of art in its own right, crafted by some of the most skilled engravers of the time. But what makes it even more valuable is the story behind it. Now, why does this small token carry so much weight? It's not just because of the Siege of Paris. This jeton symbolizes the birth of the French Third Republic. You see, in the aftermath of the Franco-Prussian War, the French Empire collapsed, and the Third Republic was established. This period marked the end of monarchy in France and the beginning of modern French democracy. The jeton de présence represents that turning point. In a way, holding this coin is like holding a piece of French democracy in your hands. It's a reminder of the sacrifices made and the hope that emerged from one of France's darkest moments. The value of this jeton has increased significantly over time, especially as it has become rarer. Coins like these, which carry significant historical weight, attract collectors from all over the world. In pristine condition, a Siege de Paris jeton can fetch anywhere between $500 to over $2,000, depending on its rarity and condition. But it doesn't stop there. In some cases, if the coin has notable provenance, or has been part of a prestigious collection, its value could go even higher, sometimes reaching over $5,000. Auction houses have reported increasing interest in French numismatics, and as the demand grows, so does the price. Even minor imperfections or historical associations with a specific figure can influence the price of a jeton. Well, there are a few key things to look for. First, check the weight and size. The genuine jetons have a specific diameter, often around 30 to 35 millimeters, and they're made from high-quality metal. Next, the engraving should be sharp and clear. Many forgeries or replicas will have dull or unclear details. And finally, always check the provenance. If the coin has documentation tracing it back to a reliable source, it's much more likely to be authentic. Today, the Siege de Paris MDCCC LINCLON jeton de présence stands as more than just a coin. It's a piece of cultural memory, a reminder of a pivotal moment in French history that continues to influence the nation's identity. For collectors, it's a prized possession. For historians, it's a valuable artifact. And for anyone lucky enough to own one, it's a tangible connection to the past, and a valuable one at that. Whether you're a history buff, a coin collector, or simply someone interested in rare and valuable artifacts, the Siege de Paris jeton offers a wealth of stories, and potentially, a wealth of money. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the Siege de Paris MDCCC LINCLON République Française jeton de présence. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare and historic coins, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss an update. And if you happen to own one of these rare tokens or know someone who does, let us know in the comments below.